Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do a bonus read. Yes, another one. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for all the ways that you have been loving on this channel. I do appreciate you so very much. I'm here to say thanks once more. Let's get to it. I just want to give you more energy before the sneak peek comes out in the next couple days. Let's find out what's going on. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. How are you, my bull gang? This is not just a sun sign read. Let's find out what's going on for you, friends. I expected to be here yesterday, but we were under tornado watch all day yesterday. We had terrible weather, and a tornado just missed us. So glad to be here and not somewhere in Oz. Thank you so much for watching. Let's find out what's going on with Taurus. What is the subject matter? Oh, look at that. Look at the Three of Cups. It's always happy energy, right? It's celebration. It's reunion, possibly. Let's find out what else is going on here. This is an emotional celebration here. So you'll be, whether you're celebrating with other people or not, this would also be your group of friends. Somebody's going to be celebrating about some sort of project that's coming to fruition. The Eight of Pentacles always gives me, I'm working on myself. Maybe you're happy with the results. Somebody here, because Pentacles are time, effort, energy, money, and health. I feel like abundance, right? It feels like somebody is going to get good news about a health issue that has been plaguing you, possibly. But if it's you, it's not just by magic. It's because you put a lot of work into it. You've probably someone who's been practicing self-mastery, going over the details, fixing your diet, fixing your workout regimen. You're going to be celebrating something that I feel that you've been working on really hard, and that could be you. You could be working on yourself really hard, but it also could be finally you graduate from the program you're in. You get your master's, you get your bachelor's. It feels like whatever it is, you've put hard work into it, but it also could be celebrating of possibly something that has to do with work. It's going to release you from a chapter of your life that has been a little bit harder than this. It feels like you are going to be celebrating some sort of a milestone or an accomplishment. When we get to the World card, look, something is ending. It's an old chapter, and I don't think you're sad to see it go, because I feel like it was a lot of hard work, and now you're going to be celebrating the hard work here. It feels like you've been up against this for years, whether that is getting more education, maybe working on your health, maybe limiting your time on certain things and putting time into other things. It feels like it really is a good thing. It feels like you caught it at the right time, I'm going to say. So if you are somebody who is going to be celebrating the conclusion of something or the mastery of something, it feels like that this Nine of Wands tells me it couldn't have come at a better time, because it feels like you have put all of your energy, time, and effort into something that is kind of making you feel like you're burnt out. So I feel like lay down. Lay down, Taurus. Give yourself a day off. It feels like you're probably feeling emotionally depleted a little bit. If there is going to be time for you to celebrate, you're going to need to be on point, right? So I feel like that you are, it comes at a time when it's like you were just about ready to give up. And I feel that something you've been putting all of your energy into comes to a conclusion, but a really good one. And it gives you this joy about having stuck with it. Look, I'm going to say that this is probably one of the many times, or maybe one of the few times for some of you, where your persistence paid off or your stubbornness paid off. It almost feels like somebody here was working on something. It feels like you were working on something here, and people were probably saying to you, look, you're never getting anywhere with that. That's the dumbest idea I ever heard. Why are you doing that? It feels like somebody expected you to fail, Taurus, but you're like, really? I'm a Taurus. I just have to see it through to the end. I'm loyal. I'm solid. I'm standing on business. I make my own doctrines. I follow my own rules. And if that's a problem for you, then look away. It feels like somebody here was like, I don't care where this ends up. I just need to stay the course. And I'm really glad you did, Taurus, because something here is paying off. With celebration. You're going to be celebrating something here. It could be money. It could be people celebrating you because you didn't give up, because you took it right to the end. You took it in for the touchdown, friend, and I think that everybody's doing the touchdown dance. It feels like with temperance here, this is something that is going to be happening soon. I'm going to say, like, with temperance, you always feel it showing up. So it's not like I can really put my thumb on it and say it's going to happen at a certain time, because temperance never tells you when it's going to show up, but you're definitely going to know when it's here. Temperance is the solid sort of this feeling of contentment, feeling of being healed, feeling of accomplishment, because the World card is here with the Hierophant. It feels like you've accomplished something, and the Temperance card shows up in the way that you have no longer have high highs or low lows. You no longer worry about it. You no longer feel like you don't have enough energy for it. It feels like there is a moment of alchemy showing up where everything comes into play at the right time, and then we get to celebrate it. This is lovely. Tell them that it feels like there's something coming here that you're going to be celebrating. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. What were you working on, Taurus? We've got the Page of Swords. So whatever it was, it might be studying, right? This is the student. It might be studying. You could be writing. You could be publishing a book. It feels like it's something that you really dug deep on. You might have dug in further. When people told you were never going to accomplish this, you just kept digging in. It feels like with the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. I'm going to say it's something that you had to learn. And that tells me that with the Eight of Pentacles, that you now are considered to be the subject matter expert, excuse me, on whatever you had to learn. So it does feel like you are a person who's very observant. I'm telling you, the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords is giving me psychologist, or somebody who watches people. I would say like somebody who reads body language. It feels like that sort of thing. That possibly you're a person who is about to collect your diploma of some sort, bachelor, master's, doctorate, on being very particular. Because look, this is Virgo energy, and Virgo never misses a detail. Someone who is in psychology, psychiatry, they have to learn to read body language. They have to learn the psychology of things, right? Here we are. This is falling out. We've got the Star. This is something you've hoped for. It feels like you never thought you would accomplish it because it took a very, very long time, but you wouldn't let it go. The devil is attachment. You wouldn't let it go. It's like you saw in the future, one day I'm going to celebrate this, and then I'm going to be in the face of people who said it wouldn't work. And maybe, Taurus, if you're the kind of Taurus I think you are, you're not really going to be in somebody's face. Maybe you're a Leo rising. No, I'm not saying anything bad about Leo, but Leo is more apt to get in your face. But Taurus, I think that you're just going to be smug. I think you're just going to be smug and take the win. I feel like you could never let go of the hope that you would have your wish fulfillment. It really does feel like you're going to be celebrating some sort of wish fulfillment. But honestly, I don't feel like it's just been given to you. This isn't something that, Taurus, things don't just get given to you. You really have to work hard on them. And the Eight of Pentacles is what's telling me that you really had to work hard on it. So the devil tells me that you were in this loop of obsessive, whatever it is, you obsessively were working on it until it ends up coming to the place where you get the accomplishment of the milestone. And the old chapter of having to work as hard as you were working is over. It feels like now you become the person that everybody goes to get the information, the subject matter expert. You're the person that is the one who is teaching other people about what you know, the Hierophant. We've got the Page of Cups. You know what? I don't think that you see the achievement coming. I think that you're so busy with, whenever I see the Eight of Pentacles, somebody's head is down. I feel like your head was down. You just kept working. It feels like you weren't looking for the outcome. You were just trying to enjoy the journey. But the Page of Cups tells me something surprises you. It's like you work so hard and so long for something, being so patient for something to show up, you finally just lift your head, and there it is, the Page of Coins. There's the opportunity. It feels like the opportunity just shows up just as if it were standing there all along. And it probably was, Taurus, but you maybe didn't see it right away. I feel like you spent a long time learning things. It feels like the Page of Cups tells me you had to learn to trust your intuition little by little. The Page of Swords tells me you had to really dig into the books, dig into the facts, dig in for more information. You really had to put your head down and dig in. And then the Page of Coins tells me that the messenger shows up and says, okay, well, here you go. Holding a bunny, right? And so something is about to multiply really, really quickly. And I feel like this opportunity that shows up right away after you finally accomplish something is what is the most surprising. Page of Cups. It is good news. Pentacles are wealth. Pentacles are time, effort, energy, money, health, whatever's going on in your 3D world. And then we have the King of Swords. The person who has the last word is the one who is going to award you with the opportunity. To me, the King of Swords can be the psychologist, psychiatrist. I was just talking about that, but also somebody who has the final word, the person who is doing the hiring and the firing. This is the person who has the final word. Their word goes over everyone else's. This person who is highly intelligent, very controlled, I would say, but they're also somebody who deals in facts and logic. They're not interested in how it makes you feel. They're just here to tell you that you did right, you did good. But I feel it's almost like you were striving for the to be noticed by the King of Swords, because the King of Swords is never going to hand out a compliment unless they really mean it. They're all about the truth. Tell me what you'll be celebrating. Tell me about the Three of Cups. I think that this comes through at a time when you're just feeling the worst, like feeling like depleted of your emotional energy. You can't really work on it anymore. I just don't have one more ounce of energy. Tell me what the Three of Cups is. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Six of Cups. And we've got the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like what you'll be celebrating is that somebody here is, you know what it feels like? Somebody from your past is about to show up and say, well, you did it. You said you were going to do it, and you did it, and I'm sorry I was wrong. The Knight of Wands here, it feels like the Knight of Wands tells me that there's somebody here that you know, Six of Cups, whether they're romantic or not, I don't really care. It feels like that they're probably not, but it could be because the Six of Cups is here. But Six of Cups is simply nostalgia and something that might come back. And so the Six of Pentacles tells me that this is a practical relationship. So it doesn't really feel like love, but if you're looking at this with the eye of love, then go ahead and do that. But the Six of Pentacles is telling me someone's showing up to give you reciprocal energy in a very practical way. Somebody is admitting that they were wrong because now they have more information. Now they have the details. Somebody knows that they probably discouraged you along the way. And now that they're seeing you accomplish what you said you were going to accomplish, even if it took you years, this person is showing up to say, yeah, good job. Good job. The Knight of Wands is here. This person has to dig deep to get their bravery, because I feel like the thing is I feel like this person is showing up because they are somebody who, when the compliment is deserved, they do give it. They're showing up to say, look, I didn't have all the data at the time. I don't think I knew who you were. And I didn't think that you would hang on as long as you did. I didn't think you had the tenacity or the loyalty to take this for the touchdown. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the Nine of Wands. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. The Two of Wands. And the King of Pentacles. We've got all four pages out here. I feel like you've been learning a lot of lessons, that you've been on a journey of knowledge, learning to trust yourself, learning to never give up. I feel like everything that you have put into this, blood, sweat, and tears, is about to pay off. The Wheel of Fortune sits right next to the Nine of Wands. I really feel that you feel like I didn't do enough. Nothing's ever going to come from this. I wasted all this time on a path that is not paying off. But look, the Wheel of Fortune shows up and says, you just weren't being patient enough. The thing is that when it comes to Taurus and patience, understand that Taurus has to wait sometimes for decades for something to work out. But Taurus is never going to give up. So the Wheel of Fortune is here and saying that everything is about to change. Everything's about to expand. That destiny is here. Something that you are doing is going to plan. Something you have planned is actually taking off. exactly like you planned. We've got the king here. Taurus, you are the king of pentacles. That is Taurian energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy in a general read. But this Taurian energy tells me that this is something that is going to make you money. So for those of you who have been waiting for the dream job, I think it's here. The opportunity, I don't think that you thought that, maybe somebody said to you, look, don't go to school for that. There's going to be no jobs for that when you get out of school. And the opportunity shows up immediately for someone who is an authority on whatever it is that you've been studying or creating. It feels like somebody who you admire, somebody who really speaks a language of practicality and details and truth and honesty. This is somebody who would never lie to you. You trust them not to lie to you, but it also is somebody that I feel you admire because of their wisdom. Taurus, I feel like you have to make a decision here. It feels like you've got a plan, and I feel like everything's going to plan, but I feel like you're going to be offered. But I think it's more than one offer. You're probably going to have to choose between two paths. It feels like somebody is going to call you, connect with you. When I see wands and it comes to the page, to me that's fast-moving energy, an email, a text. It feels like somebody's going to offer you something. They might want to see you face-to-face. They might call you into the office, might ask you for a lunch. It feels like somebody wants to buy you something, give you a gift. But it feels like it is very practical. This person, I feel, is somebody who admires people who have tenacity, who hang on, who are very loyal and see things through to the end. They see you as a fighter. They didn't think you were going to win. Look, that's the Colosseum. They fight to the death there. Whatever it was, Taurus, you fought it and won. Look at that. It feels like when this person, it feels like this person is going to have to take off their mask, take off their blindfold, to see you for who you really are. They've come to a crossroads where they can no longer deny, we got the two swords here, that they can no longer deny that you are the person that they didn't think you could ever become. It does feel like it's someone that you admire. So we're looking at kings. It could be fathers, could be mothers, could be sisters, brothers, but I feel like it's somebody from your past, honestly. Somebody who told you, don't go down that path, it's not going to work. And you're like, yeah, watch me. I just heard, don't believe me, just watch. What song is that from? Bruno Mars sings it, right? Don't believe me, just watch. And I think that's what you said. And then I think you parted ways, because the Six of Cups tells me that you probably haven't seen them. Look at all that shuffling, and the Page of Wands comes back. So I feel like, Taurus, this says quite literally you're going to be getting some sort of a message. Somebody here is going to be firing off a message to you, I feel like it's electronic. It doesn't feel like a phone call. We've got the Nine of Pentacles here. They've been watching you grow. I love this. The moon energy is here. Look, you're not expecting any of this, because I don't think you give one crap whether this person contacts you or not. I think they are shoved so far back into the back of your mind, Taurus, that you don't really even care. It feels like now you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for the kudos. You're not doing it for people to give you a pat on the back. It feels like with this Nine of Pentacles that you have become a person of influence, that you are well on your way to being in the Empress energy, and you are somebody who's very confident. It feels like you have your own style, or the way that you look is very different from the way that you looked when this person saw you last. You're a little bit worse for wear, I would say. You're a little bit burnt out, but I feel like you are still standing confident and strong. And I feel like you are standing on business because the Hierophant is here. I feel like you are immovable is what it feels like here. The moon energy here tells me that things are not as they seem. I don't think you're expecting this call or this communication from this person. It does feel like it is divine timing. It feels like this is destiny. Something here is about to change, and you're going to be asked to make a decision about something. Maybe it's not necessarily part of the plan, but it does feel like it is part of the future, because we do have 3 wands here. Tell me what Temperance is. What's Temperance feel like to you, Taurus? Because I feel like something here is going to be showing up, and you're going to know immediately by the feeling of contentment, the feeling of healing, the feeling of being back in balance, no more high highs, no more low lows. I feel like everything's coming together for you here. And it feels like that you will know whether or not to pick up the phone, to answer the text. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, got the 2 of Swords that's back, and the 6 of Wands is here again. So look, I feel like somebody is taking off the blindfold, seeing something for what it really is. It could be somebody that you have blocked out, maybe not necessarily blocked on social media, but blocked out, like you don't really care about their opinion. But it feels like you have grown so much. You've stacked one pentacle on top of the other on top of the other. You've become organized. You've built some sort of foundation for yourself, but you fought tooth and nail for it. Taurus, I feel like you are somebody who is now out in the public. What I mean by that is the Six of Wands tells me that after you get this win, it feels like you're coming out of the dark night of the soul, because it feels like all you did was work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. And it feels like it could be 100,000 people who are saying, hey, good job, patting you on the back. But it's like the words from this person are the ones that count the most, because this is the one that told you you were never going to accomplish that thing. And now they're coming through and saving face. They're saying, I didn't know you could build it. I was pretty sure that you were never going to build it, that you were never going to get organized enough to get balanced enough to build it. But you're a fighter, Taurus. That's what you are. Hearing Christina Aguilera in my head, fighter. So I feel like you fought your way out of a dark night of the soul. And I think somebody is a little bit shocked and surprised that you are standing there in front of them with your certificate or your health, or that you've changed on the inside, the outside. Maybe it's a glow up stage. It feels like you are ready to step into your Empress energy, whether you're a man or a woman. Tell me about the advice or the outcome here. We've got the Emperor. Wow. So this person who is stepping up is a person of influence. And this Emperor does not give out the kudos really easily. This person's been watching you. We know because it's coming up under the Page of Swords. This person's been watching you. They've been watching you grow. They see how much you've done. You've become confident. You don't give two craps whether this person is watching or not. But this person is about to step forward. The Emperor is a person of influence, somebody who has already grown their own empire, and they didn't think that you'd ever grow yours. Tell me about the Emperor. Queen of Wands. They see you with tenacity, tenacious. You bounced back. You're made of rubber, Taurus. You bounced back. No matter what came to you, you figured it out. You kept getting up. Even if you were set on fire, you kept getting up. You're bold. You're forward. You're independent. And I think the Emperor is stepping forward to say, I think I was wrong, right? The Eight of Wands is in the reverse. It feels like somebody is going to say, I didn't think you had this much fire in you. I thought it was going to go flat. I didn't think you'd ever move forward. I didn't think that I would ever be standing in front of you, shaking your hand and telling you, good job. Tell me what happens next. We've got the Chariot. We've got the Magician. And the King of Wands. This person sees you as magic. Listen, I'm not the one who says you're all going to run off into the sunset and be happy with the person that you want. But I'm just going to say, if you're the person who's in your Empress energy or your pre-Empress energy, we do have the King and the Queen of Wands here. This person could quite simply be standing up to say, look, good job. I see you as my peer. And this person sees you as the mirror or the peer, or now they feel like we do mirror each other. Maybe they felt like you would fall flat and there would be no chance of us mirroring each other. But I feel like this person might have an opportunity for you. So whatever you've learned, whatever you've come through, this could simply be just a business offer because the Page of Pentacles is here, but the Chariot is here. They see you now as disciplined. Somebody who's disciplined, somebody who's in charge of themselves, somebody who keeps their emotions out of it, someone who's emotionally intelligent. They see you as someone who is creating your own reality. It feels quite shocking or surprising to them that this person with the wisdom of the King of Wands is stepping up and saying, I recognize you as the Queen of Wands. We've got the High Priestess, and you knew that they would, Taurus, but you didn't give two craps if they did. But I think somebody is showing up. I think they're showing up to give you, like when the Queen of Swords shows up, this person is showing up to give you the honest truth. Of course, the King does as well. But the Queen of Swords is going to give it to you in a feminine kind of way. They're going to say, good job. I didn't think you could do it. They're just going to say it. I didn't think you could do it. I didn't think you had it in you, but you did. They're going to mention your liberation, how you've liberated yourself from the last life, World card, and how you are now operating in the new life. And we are also the king and queen of swords. I would say the king and queen of swords are a very interesting conversation because they're in a sword fight. It's like metal, steel sharpens steel is what it feels like. So this person might come with a business offer because now you're at their level. You know more things. You've changed. You've had a glow up. Everything has changed. And I think that this person sees you as someone who will sharpen them. Not necessarily someone who's become sharp because of them. I feel like they admire you. I'm going to leave this right here. Thanks so much for being here and watching, Taurus. I will be back with the sneak peek soon. And depending on the weather, if Mother Nature allows, it'll be very soon. Take care, you guys. Love you all. I'm going to go for now. Bye-bye.